York come down south, more than likely the nickname that you're going to give that guy that moved down south, you're going to call him Yo New York, or you're going to give him a nickname. You know what I'm saying? You might have someone named California, you know, and that's just what people call him because that's where they came from. So the same thing has happened here, okay? So when Deuteronomy 23:7 says that don't abhor a Syrian because he's the brother to Israel, it's because that family came not from Edomites, but came from the Syrians, okay? Because that's the land that our forefathers lived in, all right? Okay? And that's pretty much it. Let's see here. There's actually a little bit more. Let's get into another scripture. Matter of fact, let me see here. Because you have these clerical errors here. Right? H130. All right? Because I'm going to show you something. And this is something that was taught to us by the apostles. All right? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Let's go back to 2 Kings 16:6. All right? So you go into this scripture here, because I read this scripture too, right? You see it here. At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria and drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there until this day. Okay? Now, when you go into Elath, okay, or Elath, it's basically a city amongst the Edomites, okay? Elath or Eloth. So when you go into Eloth, okay, we have here we have 1 Kings 9:26, and King Solomon made a navy of ships in Ezion Gabar, which is beside Eloth, on the shore of the Red Sea in the land of Edom. Okay? So you have to go into these words and break these things down and make the correct correspondence with the right scriptures. Okay? Eloth, right? Same thing, same word in 2 Kings 16:6. Okay? Where is it located? It's located in the land of Edom. All right? It's located in the land of Edom. So now going back to 2 Kings 16. I'm not going to make this too much longer, but I want to show you these clerical errors in these points. Okay, because you have to get the translation right. Okay? So they have Syrians here, right? Once again, H726. And you see the same thing that happened in H130. You saw Edomites, okay? And then it said Syria. And here you see Syrians, right? Rawamya. And then it says Aramite, Syrian, Edomite, okay? Because the people that actually lived in Ezion Gabar and Elath were the Edomites, okay? And to further prove that point, all right, to further prove that point, right, you have that here in the Septuagint, okay? In the Septuagint, you have these words here, which is basically Idumea, okay? Because the Idumeans dwelt, came to Elath and dwelt there, all right? Let's go to the Septuagint here, okay? And the blue letter is not going to pull that word out, right? And that's the word here. You see G2532 on the right, and then you see this word here, blank. When you look up this word, all right, let me go back. When you look up this word, and this is the word that's supposed to be there for the the Syrian. See where it takes you. It takes you to Antipater the Idumean, okay? A native of Edom. Let's see, let me get the land of Edom. Kingdom of Edom. Let's see if it names those cities. All right, you have the Greek Idumea, because the Idumeans were sent there to live in Ezion Gabar and these different cities, Ezion Gabar and Elath. All right. Let me go back. Let me translate this word. Let me see if I can look up this word here. And it's all in Greek. Let's see if I can translate. Greek is not currently supported for this translations. When you get this word here, it corresponds with Idumea, right? The kingdom of Edom, which are the Edomites. Which actually, let's go back. Let me copy this word. Copy. Let's go back. I put up a new tab, which I had it up, but let me paste and look it up. Bear me for a second. Here we go. Idumea. All right? Because when you paste this word, that's what it equals out to. Idumea. Right? All right, the LXX, which basically means the 70, which is where you get the Septuagint from. Let's see if it brings up anything interesting. The Septuagint concordance equals out to here. 2 Chronicles 28:17. The Edomites had again invaded and defeated Judah and carried off captives. Okay? So it says 50 times in 6 unique forms. All right? Jeremiah 49:7. And 17. Edom will become an object of horror All who pass by it will be filled with horror. They will hiss out their scorn because of all the disasters that have happened to it. And that's soon to come, right? That's soon to come to these Edomites. So when you go into these scriptures and go into these words and these breakdowns and bring these things out in these scriptures, and you look up the different languages and where they come from, the English translators got it wrong. Okay? Matter of fact, let's look up. I want to go back. Let's go back to Google. Let's look up Elath. Right? Elath. Elath or Eloth. Right? Let's see. Biblical account. Because it should take you back to the Edomites. There we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted to get. I'm going to show you. So now it says, when King David conquered Edom, which up to then had shared a common border with Midian, he took over Elat or Elath, the border city shared by them as well. The commercial port city and copper-based industrial center were maintained by Egypt until reportedly rebuilt by Solomon at a location known as Ezion-Geber. Like I said, in 2 Kings 14:21-22, many decades later, all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the room of his father Amaziah. And this history is important to know. It says he rebuilt Elath and restored it to Judah after his father's death. Later, in 2 Kings 16:6, during the reign of King Ahaz, at that time the king of Edom recovered Elath for Edom and drove out the people of Judah and sent Edomites to live there, as they do to this day. So once again, going back to the blue letter and to these scriptures, okay, all right, it's speaking about the Edomites, all right. That's even in the Greek. And when you go into the Hebrew, all right, where it says Syrians, that's a clerical error for H130. It's supposed to be the Edomites there, okay? But they put Syrians. Why? Because the word Edom in this particular Hebrew text, all right, the Assyrian Hebrew text looks similar, okay? All right? The word for Syrian or Aram and Edom look the same, okay? Now going back to the Syrians, our forefathers dwelt amongst them in that land, okay, Padan Aram, where our cousins, so to speak, were at, okay? Abraham dwelt there, Bethuel, Jacob. So when going back to the law in Deuteronomy 23:7, that scripture, all right, shouldn't be thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. It should be thou shalt not abhor a Syrian, okay? But he is thy brother. Why? Because our brother, all right, Laban or Laban welcomed Jacob. Okay? Yeah, Genesis 29 and 15. And Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for naught? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? All right, and it goes into the story of how he got how Jacob got his 2 wives. Okay. And we say that to this day. You know, we see another so-called black man, you know, we say, brother, what's up, brother? Okay. So it's the same thing. So this scripture that this guy is reading, and it probably went off. Let me go back. Okay.
Acts.
This guy here,
15.
the elder Rakah of GOCC, he's wrong in taking that scripture at face value. Because now he's going to go into other scriptures. He went into Amos and other scriptures, Acts, the book of Acts, to try to prove that the Lord is going to save Esau if they believe in the Messiah. Esau's not going to believe in the Messiah. Okay? Esau's going to be destroyed by the Messiah. Matter of fact, let me get that scripture. I'm bringing out one more precept. This is the book of Isaiah, 63rd chapter. And we all know these scriptures. This is Isaiah 63:1. Who was this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength? I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Okay? So here's your saving here. But he's going to have blood when he comes to Edom. He's going to destroy Edom. Okay? All right? He's going to destroy Edom. So you have to get real deep and understand what that scripture is saying. All right? So like I said, if you start off wrong, the rest of the breakdown is going to be wrong. So I just want to go into that, these other Israelite groups are failing when it comes down to bringing out the truth in the gospel. They're not the men of the Lord, and they're showing themselves not to be. It's the Most High. Show them, show everybody else something else. Like Hawashai said, you shall know them by their fruits. And him telling that caller, that brother that called in, being condescending and being arrogant, to that brother that called in, as if he got the breakdown right, that's just wrong. So I'm going to end it here. I hope it was edifying. It was kind of tedious, but I wanted to bring out everything that was right. Our praises, our glory, our honors going to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.